I don't know what it is, but every time I sit down to record one of these, specifically Vinland Saga, and specifically on Mondays if they come out, the lighting is off and it looks weird on me. I don't get it, but if I don't do it, I do it on the Tuesday, it looks fine. I don't know. Anyways, I'm Grizz, and welcome back for Vinland Saga. We reached what I believe would be a climax of this crucial part of this arc, and Thorfinn's realization of what he wants, I guess, and who he wants to be, and how he wants to view himself and his life and his value going forward. And he took his first massive step into swearing off violence and everything else that comes along with that. At this point, I don't know where else he heads from here. I mean, I understand he's going to continue down this path, and I assuming continue to try and stay true to this oath in which he made to himself. But where do we go from here narratively with the other characters, and how do we develop him more? Is it more of what we've seen in the early half, and they're just going to try and get back to it despite their farm being destroyed now and just start doing that again and working on farming and freeing themselves? Or are they going to set out and try new things in order to find real purpose and find other things in which they want to value or understand more within life? I'm unsure of that, but very excited to see where we're going to go here. If you like it all, please hit the like and subscribe. They do mean a lot to me. Feel free to also stick around for the discussion at the end. Leave any comments on your thoughts about the episode and anything else down below. And let's get going with episode 10. Something I haven't actually brought up much throughout this season, the art though is absolutely beautiful throughout the entirety of this so far. I just don't want to feel like I have to constantly bring it up every time it goes out. Just know I absolutely love it. And my boy swole. Damn, both of them are swole. Tip that bitch down. Let's go. Nice. Oh, wow. Is that the whole forest? Did we do like big time skip? Yeah, we did. Wow. Okay. Wow. I really didn't expect us to time skip this. Wow. Where do you go from there, though? Have you even thought about that? Have you even thought about what comes next? Thorfinn specifically? Yeah. I wonder if he could work out a deal with Cattell, but that's probably going to be really hard if he tries to. Yeah. Also, why doesn't Thorfinn go back to his family? Does he even pay them any attention? Yeah. They're still there. Nice. I hope we get to see that. They probably think he's dead though, right? Because he just kind of left. I love how they draw the hands. What do you want, buddy? I love the line of thinking and the positivity. But no, I don't think that's possible in the slightest. Unfortunately. And it's nothing against your ability. It would be a dream, such as a faraway land in which you will almost certainly never find. Wow. This is the reaction he was looking for. Not there yet. Uh-oh. And he doesn't return? Uh-oh. Getting me nervous. Huh. That's, yeah. Should I wave the flag now, or do we wait until afterward? Give us some thought. You're not gonna have the opportunity though, but give us some thought. Yeah. I'm fucking nervous now. Okay. I don't think Catel's coming back, bro. I do not think Catel's coming back. I'm gonna go back and read these later. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to break them down or not though, because I'm kind of dumb, but I'm gonna try. I'll at least read them again. Here we go. Season 1 type beat. Our CG boats were moving. Are we gonna get to see Canute then? Oh, is this Canute? Ah, fuck, bro. Yeah, Catel's not coming back. Yeah. You look good, brother. Fuck, bro. Fuck. I don't know. I don't know anymore. I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen. Every time something good is about to happen for Thorfinn and Einar, I feel like shit just goes as wrong as possible, and it's gonna happen again. Because if Catel doesn't come back, how are they gonna get free? They're never going to. And we haven't seen the dad either. Where's Ferkel? He's not gonna be able to vouch for him either. I'm nervous. It looks so different, dude.
ウルフよ、兄王陛下のご容体はどうか。
ハラルド陛下のご体調、思わしくございません。この一月はさらに病が進み、今はすでにお話もままならぬご様子でございます。
Okay, I thought that we were gonna attack Harold. It looks like he's just gonna go out on his own, though. Is this a situation, though, where we have constantly paid off Harold for all these years, and now Harold's gonna go, and then somebody else like Canute's gonna fully take over here, and then we're no longer gonna be able to bribe him and pay him off, and then he's gonna come attack the village, and then the shit's gonna really get bad? I hope that doesn't happen. That's where I'm thinking right now, though. Or he's gonna be in even more demand than Harold was.
兄王陛下はあれの得意な方だった。たまに世と遊んでくださった。
On occasion. I love the coloring on that.
よし、玉をよーく見ろよ、クヌート。
殿下。
ラグナル。
Oh yeah, Ragnar. I don't even notice.
大丈夫だよ。
あいつはお前が思ってるよりたくましいよ。
Ragnar was truly his dad. He loves him though. Look how happy he is. It's so sweet.
ありがとう、ラグナル。
兄王陛下にはよく助けていただいた。お礼を申し上げねばな。
Well, you have the time. Uh-oh. Oh, fuck. Canute, no. He's probably never faced it. We kind of conquer one guy and the other one's got these issues now. Yeah. The trauma resurfaces. He's been so go, go, go since that happened. He's probably never really sat down and processed it. And now coming back home and finally thinking about, you know, the past and his brother and stuff like that. It's coming back to him. Oh, this could be tough. Okay, see, that's what I was a little confused about. But they each got something then. Okay. Canute took England. Gotcha. But as Harold goes, Canute probably gets Denmark. Yeah. Which means...
クヌート兄様。本当にイヤリングにいらしてたのね。
陛下と呼びなさい、エストリズ。ハラルド。
Fuck, bro. Just like the dad, he's kind of looking... He's looking rough, though. Is this girl related to them in a way? Or is she somebody that we know already and I'm just blanking on it? Or not? Someone fill me in. Yeah.
滅相なことを申されますな、ハラルド。
But you seem happy about
元気
it.
になってまた玉打ち遊びにでも興じましょうぞ。
大したものだがクヌート。よくもそ知らぬ顔でそんな嘘がつけるものだ。
Yeah.
兄様
I said that when he first saw him. He resembled him in a way, though.
思った相手を見舞うか。とんだ茶番だな。それでお前は一体何を成し遂げるというのだ。ハラルドはそなたに好意的であった。
Yeah.
なぜ殺す必要が。
Are you that driven by your own greed?
王道楽土のためなどで
He did not.
北海の帝王たらんという野心がな。
Fall into the darkness.
それが呪いだ。王冠の呪いなのだ。
Wow.
逃れられはせぬ。そなたはでも
The two. They don't cancel out, brother. It only gets worse. Yeah. I feel like I've heard about the curse though. Did he talk? Was his dad talking about that in season 1? That's a hell of an image, dude. Yeah. Wow.
どうしたの？急にぼんやりして。兄様もご病気なの？
He has. He doesn't even know though. And Harold probably didn't even say a word to him there. He was making all that up. The curse of the crown. That's so cool though. Yeah. He is going to haunt you. Wow. Yeah.
いつまでそこにいる。用はない。去れ。国家の統一が前提です。王が2人いてはいずれ災いの元となる。ハラルド王の死は必要なのです。
His referring to his brother and his dad strictly as King Harold, King Suan, is that so that he can create this distinction between their family and they're just these other people that he has to take out along his way? Or is that just something that they would do as like a sign of respect? Because I would have assumed that he would have just called them dad and brother or something, right? I wonder if the real king thing is similar to what you would view a real warrior as in a way. And your way of thinking is in...
スベンをかつて私はあなたを憎み死を願った。だが今はどうだ。私が腹を割って話せるのはあなただけだ。
Yeah.
仲良しましょうぞ。
As he puts the crown back on.
同士。
Okay. He's accepted the challenge though. That's what that means.
すまんクヌート。続きはまだだ。
ありがとう兄上。
Only got to spend a little time with him literally ever, and it made him the happiest kid in the world.
強くなるんだ。クヌート。俺や父親のようだ。
こんなものか。
This might just be the start though. I don't think I can use words to describe how masterful I believe this show and this story being told really is. I had such an obsession and love with season 1 after I watched it, and it's something I have discussed before where I think in one of the first episodes of the second season where when I watched season 1, it was only this last summer, so it wasn't even that long ago. At that time, I would only binge things, and I still hadn't even up to this point watched a show or an anime once weekly throughout like its seasonal cycle, right? And when I watched Vinland Saga, it became the first show in which I couldn't watch more than 1 or maybe 2 episodes without having to take a break between and just sit down and be like, what did I just watch? Especially in the second core of it. And I would have to, it wouldn't even just be like, all right, the next day I'll come back and watch one. It ended up turning into like 3-4 days before I could feel like I was mentally ready. All right, time to get into this next one. All right, I've thought about everything I needed to. I thought like everything relating to the episode, which is why I'm so happy that I'm here doing this episode or doing this season this way and being able to verbally discuss it to myself mainly, but I guess to you guys, since I am like openly wording this out to you, I guess. I absolutely love that this story follows different characters and their journeys and the things that they're going through. And it's not just Thorfinn's story. And we can have episodes like episode 1 just to give us full backstory behind Einar. And I know that's all anime original stuff, but just so that you have an understanding of this other character, you don't need Thorfinn in an episode. And then we had the one earlier this season, strictly following Canute and what he's been up to. And then we get a big time skip. Once again, here we are with Canute, and this is following him. And I have a feeling we're going to see him again for the next episode or two, probably, because his journey here doesn't seem like it's done yet. And he's going to continue to be involved. And I absolutely love having multiple sides and people that you follow within a story in these characters like this, that it doesn't always have to revolve around what the main character's doing. And it's just kind of you telling the story from multiple perspectives in a way. And it's really, really cool. And this episode was so good to me. Going back through the entire episode, the first half of it, I just opens up with Einar and Thorfinn, where we do a 3-year time skip about. And we found out earlier in the season it'd take about 3 years for them to clear out this entire forest. They do it. It took about the 3 years. We don't know exactly because they're just estimating on how long. But yeah, absolutely incredible that they were able to do it. So instead of just developing Thorfinn and showing us his development throughout this time, this period in which he's going to hold this oath that he made to himself and to his dad and all this, we just skip a bunch of time, and I'm assuming he's held true to all of this. He basically put his head down, said no more violence, no more anger towards these other people, no more of that, focus on myself, get done what I have to, find a way to become free, figure it out after then. And that's what he did. He put his head down, got to work, and him and Einar worked as hard as they could together and finally did what they have to do. They have to wait until the next harvest though in order to free themselves. But Cattell comes in and basically tells them, nah, if we just get down the seeds or whatever, if we just do what we have to. I think it's probably one of the earlier steps within it. You don't have to wait for everything to grow. Just as long as you can get to the point that you plant everything, I'll let you go. You're free at that point. But then it re-raises a question in which Askeladd has asked before, and which I think has been asked many times throughout the first season too. What do you do then? What's your plan when it comes to this? You get so caught up and fueled by this one thing that you might want, but where do you go from here? Where do you go next? Have you thought about what's in your future? Thorfinn in season 1 did not think about his future at all. He was so driven by this hatred towards Askeladd and wanting to get this revenge and kill him. By the time that opportunity came, when Askeladd posed the question, what do you do from here? What are you doing next? Have you thought about your future? No, he's so focused on this one thing. So when Cattell offers up the idea, oh, you can work as a retainer, you can continue to stay here and be a retainer for me, I don't know if I like that for Thorfinn, personally. Or Einar, I guess. Einar, it's more okay, but Thorfinn specifically, because what is he supposed to do if he just stays to what he knows, right? If he doesn't go out and experience and like these new things in the world and everything and find who he really is and all this time that he spent by himself, he's kind of followed other people. Askeladd being the one who's had to follow this entire time because he couldn't really go out on his own. At least that was kind of the excuse he was using for himself. And now he can't really go out on his own because he's stuck here and trapped as a slave. So now when you have the opportunity to be free and finally get out and do that, are you just going to sit here and work on this farm and do absolutely nothing? Or are you going to go out and do something more? I remember now thinking about it, he said that he wants to rid the world of like war and create freedom and peace for everybody, which is unrealistic and will not happen whatsoever. And that is the ideal world and version in which he is creating in his mind in hopes and dreams that he has. And like Einar said, it's a big dream to achieve, but it's similar to what started us off in the story, Vinland. What Leif has told us before about this beautiful land and that has no hatred, no war, no violence, just that's it, right? That you strive towards getting to. And I'm assuming at some point Thorfinn in this story will get to Vinland, or what he believes is to be Vinland. But then when he gets there, he finds out there's other people that are going to be there already. He finds out it's not this perfect world in which he has always been told and envisioned, because it's impossible for you to really find a place that's going to wind up being like that. But it's a beautiful goal for him to have and a thought that he wants to have, and I would love nothing more for him to have. But this is a realistic story. This is not some random fantasy in which that stuff really becomes true. So that won't be the case here. But I do like the fact that he is finally thinking of a bigger picture, I guess. But I still think, back to what I said a little bit earlier, he needs to think on a smaller scale here and actually think where he wants to go here next. But if this is really what he wants to strive to do, he needs to figure out his next step and what he wants to do. And I think the first step to that is probably getting in contact with Canute and trying to persuade him in a way to work with you and stop violence some sort of way, because he has control and power. But I don't know if Thorfinn's even begun thinking about Canute or what his next step in that would be. We also talk about Arnheid and what she's going to do and how we can free her. I don't know any ways that we can. Like I said, I think it could be some sort of bargaining tool in which we could use, but I don't think that's going to be the case whatsoever. Like maybe instead of waiting till then, maybe you can convince Cattell, oh, we'll stay to the end of this cycle, but you have to free her or something. I don't know. I doubt he's going to, because it is like we see at the parallel at the end where Canute only has one person he feels like he can open up to and talk to. It's the same exact situation with Cattell, how she's the only one that he feels like he can sit there and talk to and actually express who he really is and what's on his mind. Interesting. This scared the hell out of me. You have to wait until I return, basically, for you to get freed. Yeah, that's scary, because as we know, he's going to visit Harold, and Harold is dead, so, or about to die. So where do we go from here? Because I have a feeling this is just a prediction, because I don't know for sure, but I believe Cattell was giving his payments and stuff to Harold. I don't know if that's true, but I believe that's probably what's happening in this situation, considering he was going to visit Harold. So why would he choose to visit King Harold if he's in works with another king? Anyways, if it was Harold, like I am assuming, and now that Canute's going to end up taking over, I am concerned that something is going to happen in which Canute is going to want more from Cattell, or he is no longer going to be willing to work with him, and people are going to just run over and pillage this village and his farm, and it's going to create a big issues, and then Cattell might change some sort of way, and nobody's ever going to be able to come free because of that, or Thorfinn might screw up and resort back to violence or something, but it might be more in a protection way. I don't know. These are just some ideas I'm throwing out, but it does scare the hell out of me. Also, the fact that we haven't seen Sverkel and they said that they don't know where he is concerns the hell out of me, because it's been years and he is an old guy who was struggling to do work by the end anyways. So if he's gone too, what do we have left? Who the hell takes over the farm at that point? Is it going to be Cattell's son if Cattell never ends up coming back? Not Olaf, but not Olmar, but the other guy. You hope it's not, because then we're going to have some issues, because the way that he runs things, and that's going to be fucking scary. The quotes in the middle, I like that they're adding them. I'm rereading it again as I did during the episode. I'm still not picking up on anything, and it could just be because it's worded so specifically, I guess, or so in such a way that makes it difficult for me to properly understand what they're getting at. Also, I'm just not the smartest dude in the world, so I'm not really following what it's getting at, but it's related to the story in some sort of way. So cool that it's there. If you want to explain it down below, please do. But if you don't, or you don't think it matters as much, don't worry about it. Canute goes to visit his brother, who is sick. Something I wasn't aware of, but they do clarify here, is Canute is in charge of England. His brother is in charge of Denmark. So he goes to visit his sick brother. Once he gets there, he starts reflecting on his relationship with his brother in the past and where it's kind of been at all his life and what's kind of going on. And he specifically goes back to this one memory of them playing some sort of weird game, whatever they're doing. Doesn't matter. He starts reflecting on that. The kid drops the little bag of the thing that they were playing with, and when Canute goes to bend over and pick it up so he can retrieve it from them, instead of that rolling towards him, he sees a head, and the head of King Suin, his father, rolling towards him, and Canute panics immediately. And this was an instant sign to me of, we find out it's a little different actually, but to me it was an instant sign of, you haven't faced your past ever. You have instantly, from the moment your dad was gone and you were like set out on this mission in order to take over and become a king, you put your head down and worked strictly towards this goal in which you set out, and you've never probably thought about this situation again. What happened to your dad? What was caused within, you know, this world, all these harms that you've caused to other people, you've probably never reflected on anything and where you've been at and how you really view things and how you feel. And he's just been go, 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 go. He's never really had time to sit down. So the one time he starts finally reflecting on the past, what happened with his brother, the relationship they used to have, he's back in his homeland, all this nostalgic feeling and all these like memories just flood back to you. He instantly sees his dad and the trauma starts resurfacing and it gets bad. We'll get into that a bit more in a second. First, Estrid, we see her, she calls him Brother Canute. Are they related in some sort of way? Is this somebody that we've seen before in some way I'm not sure of? What is her role? Is she important or am I just overlooking it? I feel like she looks familiar for whatever reason, or her name is familiar to me for some reason. Whether I've seen it somewhere else or she's just not here, or maybe she's important later in the story and I've accidentally read something somewhere, but I feel like I've read this name before and it's important, or I've seen her. I don't really know. But what is her relationship here? Or is she like Harold's wife or something? Like I don't really know. What is her? Is she just a slave for them too and she's just house worker or something? Like I don't know what her role is. I don't even know if it's important, but please, if you have anything to add on that, make sure that I know. Canute goes to view and see how his brother is doing, but his brother is not all there in the head and he's struggling very hard to breathe and just live, and he's really is on his deathbed, it seems like. And here he tells Canute, Denmark is yours. He's handing over it. He knows he can't control it anymore, and he probably knows this is the end for him. He's going to give it to him, in which Canute then puts a smirk on his own face and then immediately tries to straighten up so that he can talk to his brother and act like this isn't exactly what he wanted. His brother's going to get better and just telling him all this stuff, but this is realistically what he wanted. But then he looks back at his brother afterwards and instantly it's his dad's head again, his dead head just sitting there on the bed, confronting him about the actions that he's taken, about how he's lying, about not understanding what's going on, and how he's tried to poison his brother and how he wanted his brother gone and he wanted all this, and he's just fueled by this greed of power that he wants and control that he wants. But we find out he's seeing this head specifically because apparently when you have this crown on, you face a curse. They call it the crown's curse. And him becoming this ruler, he's already now facing the curse in which that's happening, right? Or that comes with being in charge and being a leader. And if he's going to take over Denmark, he's going to have two crowns, two curses. It's not a negative, positive, you know, cancel out like type of situation or anything like that. It's a two crowns. It's all 1 + 1. You're at 2 now. You're doubling up on how bad your curse really is going to end up being. It's inescapable, according to his dad. You will not be able to get out of this. You are stuck like this now as long as you are in charge here, and you are going to suffer as much as possible, more than your brother has, more than his dad has, basically the combined amount between them. And I believe this is something we talked about, or they brought up in the first season when we first saw him, that there was a curse that came with wearing the crown. But I also could be wrong on that and just trying to tell myself that for some reason. So let me know. We then get to see Canute having this conversation with his head again. And we find out, I mean, we already knew, but we find out basically he is essentially talking to himself and he's stuck in his own head. It's really fascinating, the ideas that are coming with this, because I guess it's a manifestation of what you viewed his dad, he probably viewed his dad as, or what his dad would say, because the whole thing that happened with Thorfinn last episode, seeing Bjorn and guys like that, Askeladd and stuff like that, it's not actually them, and he's in this dream state, and I'm assuming it's you making up what you would want to hear from them. And I'm assuming this is the same situation here, where he's just kind of making this is happening in his head, and he's not there mentally anymore, and he's completely broken, and this is part of the suffering that's going to come with this curse and this crown that he has. But he is happy about it, and he talks about how he wanted him dead before and how he didn't like him, but now he's kind of at the point that he can't trust anybody else around him, and he's so high up that it's difficult for him to have anybody to speak with. And now he's manifesting basically these fake people around him that he's speaking to, that he's kind of going insane, I guess, in a way. Or these are the early stages of what I would view as that. Yeah, I mean, I could probably go a little more into it, but I'm still a little uncertain about a few things and just kind of want to think through it and have a bit more time to think about it before next week anyways. So I'm going to leave that at there. Where we're going to go from here, though, hopefully we get some more Canute episodes and things regarding this, because I really found this fascinating and love this a lot, and I like the idea. I would love to be able to see Thorfinn and Einar and like be able to meet up with Canute and see what happens, you know, just them talk or see if they start working together in some sort of way or Canute can help them. I would love that, but I really don't think that's going to actually happen at all. And I am very concerned that Catel's going to show up and he's going to end up getting killed or just not be able to return by something that Canute ends up doing and being driven by this greed and this power that he wants. So I am worried about that because who knows what the hell's going to happen if Catel doesn't come back, Sverkel's gone or dies somehow, and then nobody's left on the farm, because then who takes over? Is it going to be one of Catel's kids? Is it going to be Omar? Is it going to be the other guy, the older dude, the older brother who is very violent, stuff like that? Is somebody like Snake going to end up taking over? Like, what happens in this situation? Are all the guys just going to be free, or is there just going to be violence on there because of it? Lots of things to leave me concerned and worried, but a lot of things to leave me excited and wonder what's going to actually happen. I don't know. Absolutely excited for the next episode. If you liked it all, please hit the like and subscribe. Do mean a lot to me. You can follow me on Twitter and my Animalos. Both links are in the description. Leave any comments that you feel will be useful and just your thoughts overall about the episode itself. Check out the other videos on the channel, and I'll be back next week for episode 11. You have a good one. See ya.